Hello, one and all, and welcome. My name is Fear. This is Battle Vortex. Today we're going to talk about some Crowfall. We've got lots of things going on. We got some thoughts about the latest changes in patch 7.6. We've also started the Shadow Marina campaign. We'll talk about a little bit about that and a host of other exciting topics. Now, today, if you're not playing Crowfall, you just happen across this video for God knows whatever reason, you want to try it. There's links in either the description down below or in the about section below this video. If you use my link, you can get 25% off on the full game, and it's really been improving over the last several months. So we are going to talk about that. And yeah, I think I got the right intro this week, so let's do this. Alrighty then. So we have to bring in today our special guest, Xtreme. Are you there, Xtreme?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up? How you doing?
All right, buddy. All right, we are in Crowfall. We're going to talk about Crowfall. You knew we were going to talk about that, right?
Wait, Crowfall?
Yeah, you play that, right?
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. I know. I kind of tricked. I kind of clickbaited you a little bit with that.
Yeah, you
that picture. Yeah.
I thought we were talking about Farmville.
Oh, well, yeah, we can talk about that. Actually, I used to do a show about Farmville, man, and I thought everybody would watch it, but no. So
Funny enough, no one's interested in a show about simulated farming.
Well, no, I think it was just timing because I was trying to do shows like this. Remember, I used to do podcasts back in the 90s, and everybody said, nobody will listen to that. And then when it got popular, and then now everybody does them and makes money, and I still just do them for free.
Well, there you go.
There you
You're
go.
a gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah. So as mentioned, I think you know what we're going to kind of go over today. We're going to talk about some of the changes in the game, and obviously we'll touch on the Shadow a little bit.
Yeah.
Without giving away too much of the farm, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, a little bit.
And welcome to the show, by the way, Xtreme. It's good to see you again, as always.
Thank you. I enjoy being here.
I know, and I enjoy having you because you enjoy being here. It helps. I hate reluctant, hostile. What do they call that? Hostile witnesses. I hate those. So anyway, now today we have my guinea here. He's ready for action, and we're ready for action. So let me give you. Let's find out what we're talking about today.
Real quick, can you make your guinea dance again? Because that thing's got some of the best dancing I've seen in this game so far.
I screwed up, man. I had him going, and then the little timer came up, and then so it screwed up everything because then you can't type dance while all the interfaces turn. There you go.
Yeah.
And so if you turn off the interface and you try to type dance, it doesn't work. So I ended up jumping off of the table, flying across the room, and swiping my sword everywhere. So it was getting a little weird. I have to remember while the intro's playing to move the mouse a little bit every once in a while, and then it'll keep playing. Anyway, so my first topic. Let's just kick it right off, and we have a lot of stuff today. But my first topic is that I wanted to talk about again. I really think that now that Crowfall's been purchased by Monumental, they're making plans, doing all this. This game is at a point where it obviously didn't launch well, and we're trying. Well, what I'm trying, and maybe what you're trying, and we want to get more people, right? So
yeah, that'd be fun.
I think one of the things that I know that people like the PvP in this game, but they really need more content, right? They need more.
Really
content.
do.
Really do. We need more stuff to do. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I got a lot of stuff to do as it is, but I mean, it would be nice. There are those times where you want to go do something else. So my comments on this is they need to add more content, whether that's dungeons, overworld, underworld, PvP arenas, daily quests, missions, or something to keep the player base interested. Sound fair enough?
Yeah, they need something. Anything.
I think
not anything.
Yeah, I think that's a failing with a lot of MMOs, and just to rub salt in the wound, New World had the same problem. They started as a PvP game, was going to rely completely on the player base to make up all the content. Did a test, figured out that wasn't going to work, so they shunted the PvP with a switch, and then they had like zero PvE content to throw at people. Now, Crowfall needs that.
Yeah, that was more poor timing on.
Well, yeah, I mean, on top of everything else. But if you're going to switch from a PvP to PvE game, you better start putting some monsters in there. You know what I mean? Because, go ahead.
Sorry. No, so go ahead. I had I choked on something.
Okay, sorry. So back in UO, I mean, we didn't do these things like have constant campaigns every single day. You know, like where everything's on a timer, where you had to do this at this time, that. We just had a world and we lived in it. And every once in a while, we would fight with each other, you know, like in big numbers. And that was where a lot of this, I think, originated, was back in the day. We wanted, you know, when my guild and several small several small PK guilds will get together. The large anti-PK guilds, which are just basically PKs with rules, they would come and we would have these huge battles, and that was fun, right? But that didn't happen every day, right? And I think that's one of the, you know, short sightings of Crowfall, is that at some point they thought that this was going to be sustainable every day. Now, when we were all testing everything, we would come on the test days and there would be these huge groups. So, of course, that would probably skew their numbers, you know, to where they're thinking, well, people come in droves to do these things. Well, they do, but not every day, you know, not every 3 days, not once a month. I mean, not, you know, the very hardcore of the hardcore will come more often, but that's a small number of people. I mean, comparatively to the world of MMOs, that's a small number that will show up every day. Now, we're pretty casual, but we're also, when we're playing, we're hardcore, but when we're not, we're not. You know what I mean? We're there when we're there, and then we're not when we're not. But
yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to, we're not exactly on a fixed schedule like some of these larger guilds, but when we are on, we're going for broke.
Yeah, when we are on, we are making moves. We're looking at the maps. We're doing the things. We're like, got to go over here. These guys are doing that, so let's do that. You know, we're very well. We're not really organized, I would say, but we're very scheduled. Like, we can see what's going on by the maps. The maps are great. I love the maps. Mm-hmm. The maps tell the whole story of what's going on, pretty much, if you read them enough. You know, the younger kids notice all kinds of stuff I never see. You know, they're like, well, they're doing this and they're doing that. And I'm like, how the hell do you even know that? You know, well, you look on the map right here. And,
look at the global positioning system that was gracefully provided.
Oh, yeah. The map system in this game is phenomenal, I think. But my opinion, obviously. So what I really think the bottom line is, they need more PvE content, because even back in the UO days, we also fought in dungeons. You know what I'm saying? So if I know they've got these overworld bosses that are like sort of like a raid boss or whatever, but for one, I hear the rewards are really crappy, so nobody wants to do them, and that's why nobody does them. Plus, they are capable of one-shotting an entire group and no problem. So 2 groups, 3 groups, that's too many groups for this game. You know, one group should be able, especially like if the Shadow is still considered, you know, the lower tier, which I don't know that's going to be that way for long. It doesn't look like. It looks like they're trying to bring it up, but they should have overworld, underworld, all kinds of other mobs, you know, and maybe they can't do wandering mobs, stuff like that, but I used to. It was an annoyance, but it was also terrifying when you'd be out in the, you know, in EverQuest, and then all of a sudden this big giant griffin, you'd see his shadow, and next thing you know, you'd be getting et, you know?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, ah, and you'd basically die. But,
I mean, speaking of like group or raid bosses, one thing they could do, and people are probably getting tired of me saying this, but Black Desert Online. You have your world bosses that spawn.
And everybody can join in.
But they spawn. But everyone can join in. You know, PvP is turned off for that area, so that way you don't have jackasses. which whether they do
Well,
or
even if
don't, I
they
honestly
turn,
don't
well,
care.
the thing is AOE's is where you get into trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they got turned off, and the rewards are really nice.
yeah.
And even if you get the shittiest reward possible, you can still sit there and bank those and eventually exchange them for something really
Well, you
nice.
still felt good. So that's one of
Yeah,
the other things this game is sorely lacking, is any kind of making you feel good for what you just did. Basically, everything you do in this game, you work really hard to get it, and you feel like crap after you got it because you had to work really hard to get it. So
and
there's no wins in this game, really.
yeah. I mean, as far as expanding PvE content, I think one of the very first posts I made on the forums was revamp the mobs in the grind areas.
Yeah.
Do something to make them worthwhile. The only time I ever see anyone else at a grind spot is at Tainted Hills during a hot zone, or if it's one of my guild mates and we happen to be in the same area. That's it. I've
Yeah.
never seen anyone else anywhere in any grind zone because they're not worth
They're
fighting
not
over.
they're not worth it. Yeah, they're too sparse.
Yeah,
They're not, they're just not fun. I mean, they're just not
they're
fun
just
enough. There are some areas that are kind of fun. I mean, I love Tainted Hills, but Tainted Hills isn't really made for us. It's made for Farnham and Trees RP. Those guys know that you guys are going to go there because you're greedy, and they're just going to come
yeah.
in there and smash your faces. I mean, that's really what those zones are all about. Those are a trick, right?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a trick.
I mean, aside from the rewards you get, the time invested versus reward received is bare minimum, in my opinion. It's just enough where you can sit there and get a little progression towards your next level in your character, but not really enough to really make you feel good, as you said, about
Well,
yourself afterwards.
yeah, or you've made just enough, and if you're unmolested for a whole entire hour, you have just enough to buy one weapon. That's all you get.
If you go buy a crafted weapon, you
Yeah, if
might
you
have
want a
enough to go do
crafted
that.
weapon, you might be able to get. If you buy
Well,
some lower level ones, you might be able to get a weapon and maybe two
yeah.
weapons. But
Yeah, or you have just enough to go get some domination dust and upgrade a discipline.
right, maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, don't let me forget about domination dust. Let's so that's and that brings it again back to Sky Point. I've seen we'll talk about this more later in the show, but there's so many people that agree with what I'm saying is that Sky Point needs to be the world. It doesn't need to be this like just a training zone, and then shuttle you off to the next land. The campaigns are campaigns. They're called campaigns for a reason. They're not called worlds. They're not called this is where you live because you don't live there. You're basically when you go on a campaign, you're cut off from the world. You can't get easily to your EK. You can't get easily, to your. You have to move things from bank to bank. I mean, there's a cutoff. There's a definite cutoff. So it's like going on vacation. You hop into Winnebago and you take off. That's the shadow campaign, right? You're in the shadow, and you drive the shadow around and you do things in it. And then when you're all done, you drive the shadow back to the world where you live, and then you get out and you go in your house, your EK or whatever. So that's a thing, So I think Sky Point should be the world, and that's where they should be able to put expansions. It shouldn't matter. I think a lot of people worry about, well, you're taking people from one place and putting them in another. No, we're not, because I'm not in Mazatlan right now. Is that a problem for the people in Mazatlan? No, there's plenty of other people that want to go to Mazatlan, right? So, and that was just an arbitrary place I thought of. So yeah, no, it doesn't. If people aren't in the dregs, they weren't going there anyway. We don't play in the dregs because we don't like the rule set there. We don't like the politics there. We don't like a lot of things there. And the drop is pretty heavy duty too. The
100%
drop on
inventory
death.
drop.
Yeah, that's
The hell
pretty
with that
harsh,
noise.
man. That's really super harsh on a lot of people, on a lot of levels. So I mean, yeah. So we don't like that rule set. Hey, if you're into that, more power to you. Enjoy. We're not down. So
I still think for that you should implement like a gear score system or something if you're going to go into dregs.
well, I think that okay. I mean, I like your idea. I also think that they should be much more clear about what you're getting yourself into. The way they display the rules on the thing and you have to kind of cursor over them, it's very vague, and you don't really get that like the first 12 or 13 times you go in there, right? So you don't know what you're getting yourself into. This is when when you go to when you go to a place, if you're going to a place off world, there should be a little bit more information for you. Like, by the way, you're going to get your face smashed in the first 15 minutes. Don't worry though. You're only going to lose everything except
really.
for what you're wearing, So, and we'll talk a little bit more about the rule sets later, but that's a thing, right? So I think it needs to be way more clear what you're getting into. I think Sky Point needs to be way more the world. And I actually released a document about that, the whole thing of how I think, how God's Reach, I don't think it should look like a temple system. It shouldn't be this training area. That should be the world. That should be like the first place you come. It should be beautiful. It should represent all gods, good, evil, and indifferent. And you should learn about the world there. And you should be able to go outside, go to Sky Point or, World Point or any other point, and that should be areas for you to do things in. PKs need to stop being lazy. See, what they really don't like, and I'm a PK, so I know, they don't like looking. Okay, they don't want to go looking for you. They want you to come in there, stand out in the front, and go, "What's going on here?" And then they go, "Pa-boom! Hey, welcome to Crowfall!" And you're like, "Oh man, this game sucks."
Yeah, I've had that. That was actually my very first experience in Dregs.
Yeah.
Went through the portal, went down the steps, and there was someone in the bushes camping there waiting for people to come out, and he just murked
Isn't
me.
that great? Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, and I didn't have anything on me. All I had was a couple, was it skinning potions and a knife because I was just going to go do skinning.
Yeah.
I was just there for resources.
Probably 90% of the people he does that to quit the game, and then he's like, "Gee, wonder why there's nobody coming out now."
No, I just quit Dregs. I just quit Dregs. I'm not going back to Dregs. If
Well,
that's what I get to look forward to.
I was told by a certain individual that there's no way they were camping spawn gates and all, or rune gates and all that. That just doesn't happen. I said, "Yeah, well, that's not what I'm hearing." So they basically called you a liar. So,
Well, I wasn't streaming that one, so I can't prove it, but it happened to me twice.
yeah.
I had the same guy. I mean, first time's shame on him, second time shame on me for thinking he moved.
Well, most people don't have that kind of stamina to stick around. There's so many things. There's so many other things we should be doing besides standing there waiting for newbies to come through the gates.
Meh.
Of course, this person's suggestion is don't stand by the gate for more than 30 seconds. That was your learning. So
And by the gate for more than 30 seconds, I came out and started walking. I wasn't even standing still.
I'm just saying, this is what I got. Okay, this is what I hear. So you need to heed their words, my friend.
All right, I'll get good.
Yeah, would you get good, please?
Yeah, I'll get good.
All right. So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'll say, as far as what you're saying about Sky Point, for the most part, in my opinion, it kind of already does that. It is an area where you sit there and learn the game and whatnot. What I think it should do, though, is have the level requirement to go into Shadows raised to 31, and Drags, I'm, again, probably going to get a lot of heat for this, because whatever, but have that either be implemented via gear score system or raised to 32. Because 30 is too low of a level. Because you go.
Do you really think 32 is even a thing, though? I think 33. Well, for Dregs, I would say 33 myself, but
yeah,
because even at 33 in the Shadows, I can still, I can get hurt by Dregs guys hard.
I mean, honestly, it mostly just boils down to gear, in my opinion. But that's why I like the gear score system idea better. But 30 is too low a level, because if you do the new player campaign in about an hour and 15 minutes of blitzing it, you're level 30 and you haven't even finished the campaign yet.
Well, I would say on your first character, I like your idea. On your alts, it shouldn't matter, because I go into Shadow now with 30s all the time, and they're fine because I know what I'm doing. That's what I'm saying. So on your first character, I'd say that would be more of a warning, like, hey, look, you're not ready, or whatever. It looks like you might not be quite ready yet to go here. Do you wish to continue anyway, or just, like I said, if it's an alt character, just let them in?
Yeah, or have the option to sit there and turn that warning off.
Right.
Make it just make it like a permanent thing where if you're under level, it pops up, but put it in the settings the option to turn it off.
Right. I agree.
I still think a gear score system would be better, though.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Because
We're just throwing things out there. We don't know if the devs will even give a shit what we say,
yeah,
but
but,
we'll tell them anyway, even if they don't want
yeah,
to hear it.
but what was it? Oh yeah, and as far as the places to grind, before we get too far off that one, add something to the loophole that makes them worthwhile aside from sacrifice items that for the most part, the high level players aren't going to be or can't use because they're too high level and the sacrifice items are too low. So add something like War Tribe jewelry or something. Add something into the loot pool to make it worthwhile. Because right now the only way to I use jewelry because the only way to get it is you have to find someone who can craft it. And the way to get materials to craft it is you have to find someone to go grind with you to sit there and hit mother loads. Because I don't think can you get gems out of individual nodes, or do you need to hit mother load for that?
I think it's only mother loads.
All right. Yeah, I think if it is only a mother loads, then that another thing they should
Yeah,
probably really
well,
look
yeah,
at.
I've got gem harvesting thingies, and I've never pulled a gem out that I know of, unless I was on a mother load with Dino on them. So, don't know for sure. I'm not really a crafter, but I'd say, yeah, I've actually asked for a lot of things to be included in the regular, ambrosia stuff to make ambrosia, stuff like all that stuff that they only allow groups to do. Which on the one hand, I get it, like they don't want everybody to be a crafter, but even a combatant should be able to craft a certain number of things to survive, just survivalist type stuff. Not like I like the level 1 trebuchet thing. That's great for if they had all the mats available on a vendor, that'd be perfect. Speaking of mats on the vendor, in the EKs, I think they should sell Dom Dust and Ethereal Dust on the vendors in the EK. Because you know what a pain that is when you use your EK for your EK buff and you got the crafting buff and all that, and then you want to build something and you got to keep going back to the damn, 20 seconds a pop, and if you don't buy enough, you got to go again. It's kind of it's annoying. I think they could sell. There's a little vendor in the EK. They should sell that stuff on too.
Yeah, domination dust I can understand.
I know
If
we
you
already
don't
had the
dust,
other
you
discussion.
have in the EK you have basically world access to your bank no matter where you're at in the EK. So ethereal dust, either you have it in a chest or it's in your bank. That's pretty easy to get to.
Well, I'm just saying for those that don't.
Yeah, because Dom dust, you're gonna end up stacking that up over time regardless, no matter what you do. Not Dom dust, ethereal dust.
Yeah, nobody
Dom
stacks
dust,
up Dom
yeah,
Dust.
Dom,
You buy
Dom
one
dust.
and you use it as fast as you can.
Yeah, Dom dust, you just buy as needed.
You buy what you need, you use it, you move on.
Yeah.
Actually, I buy what I can afford, I use it, and then I move on.
Yeah,
Oh, I can
exactly.
only afford 6 of them. Well, I guess we'll just get 4 for now. That's how that goes. So, in any event, let's move on.
Yeah.
You ready? Let's go
Yeah.
to what we think so far of some of the changes in patch 7.6. Right? That's a new patch
Yeah.
that came out. My first thought is global illumination is the shiznit.
Love that. I love my global illumination.
Yes. I'm not
I
in a
didn't.
position where I can show the eyeballs right now, but in the sunlight, the a lot of eyeballs, all the eyeballs reflect really super hard. It looks like mirrors, right?
It is a mirror.
Yeah, it's a mirror. Yeah.
Mirror. If you zoom in, you can actually see a reflection of whatever it is your guinea is looking at, and it's creepy and awesome at the same time.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I don't know if that's an adjustment they'll make, but I mean, I do like it that they do that.
Mhm.
But there is that point where when you're in super bright sunlight, it's like they look like they're possessed by the devil. So, and maybe that's a good thing. I don't know.
I I think they should leave that. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't care if that's like the one quote unquote feature I hope they leave in. Because the guinea looking like that is just awesome to me.
Yeah. Well, and then also the buyback. Hello.
Oh, the buyback.
Yeah, you can buy stuff back if you accidentally sell it now. Woohoo!
Oh, why was that not originally in the game?
That's a good question.
Why
One that
that like
deserves an answer.
I feel like that should have been a no-brainer type thing. Like one of those things you just have there by default.
That's just like, oh, somebody's gonna accidentally sell something. Yeah, we should let them buy that back, right? Yeah, I don't know why that didn't come up in the meetings. I'm not sure. They were too busy putting in that GPS system for the guards.
Yeah.
Anytime I can take a dig at that thing, I'm going to.
I noticed.
Yeah. So, anything else on bank buyback? I haven't really used it yet, but I love the fact that it's in there.
So when I noticed there wasn't a buyback, I'd been very careful on what I sell, so I haven't
Yeah.
had that issue yet. And I didn't really notice until you pointed it out, to be honest.
Right. So now you can be less careful. Now I can
Yes.
sell my Corvette and I can buy it right back.
Jeez.
Right?
For those who don't get that, there was Elite Dangerous. Corvette is probably one of the most expensive ships you can get, aside from something a player carrier. But beside the point, he accidentally sold his, and that thing takes hours to grind for.
Yeah, and I had to buy it back at full price. But fortunately, back then they didn't have all the fancy schmancy engine parts and all the additional items on it. So I still had
Yeah,
to pay another 40, what was it, 40 billion or whatever. It's a huge amount of money. I don't remember.
it's an insane amount.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, it was bad. So anyway, no, that's great because I remember like one day Dino accidentally sold a stack of like logger discs or something, and he about, pooped his pants. And
He had an aneurysm.
yeah, he did. He did that brain freeze thing with the little kid. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
I told him, "No, man, just write support, man. They'll give it back to you. They'll give it back to you. Don't worry about it." I said anything like that, they're not even gonna argue with it. They're just gonna give it back. Especially they know how much money he spent, how many hours he puts in. He's not he's a good customer. They're not gonna mess with him. So I was glad he got that back, and I actually confirmed with him he did actually get all that stuff back. So
Yeah. Kinger, I didn't sell any pythons. I just crashed them all.
yeah, he just kept dying then. That was he was having
Yeah,
issues staying alive in them.
yeah, I just died a lot.
Yeah. And then he would say he wasn't ever going to own one again, but then he'd be in another one and he'd die in that
Yeah.
one too.
Yeah, I'd go get another one
That was
immediately.
great fun. I love it that we all have these flaws that none of our friends will ever forget.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, here's another one. I'm going through the goodness today.
Alrighty.
Bank tabs. Hello.
Oh,
Tell me about it.
whoever finally convinced the team to put this in.
Bring it in.
You deserve a raise.
Now, there's
That-
some little things I'd like them to adjust. Like when I look for crafting or harvesting discs, I also want to see the belts that go with them. But other than that,
Is there a tab for belts?
I don't think there's a tab for belts. But when I look up for whenever I get a crafting or a harvesting disc, I always want to see the belt that goes with it. So if I have a belt, I can put the belt onto. You know how you do that? You put on the disc and then the belt slot opens up and then you can slip the belt in.
Yeah,
So that would be nice.
That would be interesting. Okay. Yeah. See, I see belts is under. I guess you call it
Well,
accessories.
there's belts
so like your
and
jewelry.
tool kits or something,
Yeah. So it's under your. I see where they're at now. I figured. I guess that kind of makes sense putting them under the accessories tab because they are technically accessories, but I still see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, if you just want to see discs, I think that's great. But if there was a way to also include belts in that too, that would be even more amazing. Because now, as it is, I got to grab the disc and then I got to go back and look for the belt. Whatever. It's just kind of
Maybe sometime down the road, like far down, customizable tabs.
Yeah, I'll tell it, give it a search criteria, and you tell it what you want, and you put it in
Yeah.
there.
Do like a customizable tab or something.
Yeah, like the chat, where you can include whatever kind of chats you want.
Yeah.
And then you can have that tab be all those things or just one thing. I like that option.
Yeah, but if any dev is listening, don't get us wrong. I love this change.
Mm-hmm.
This change is amazing. I love
this is
the
100%.
extra tabs, and then for like, whatever you go into disciplines, and then you got mini tabs there to sit there and narrow it down even more.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful thing.
Okay. Oh, purchasing vendors up to rare, I think is good. It's very expensive, but it's good.
Purchasing vendors?
I mean, vendors,
Vessels.
vessels.
I haven't actually looked at that. I've been in Shadows and I have not looked at that.
Well, I think it's like 100K for a green one or
Really?
300 for a blue, something like that. So it's a little spendy, but
A little spendy.
if there's no vendors around, if there's no crafters around, and you need and you still want to build your character, I think some people will go for it. It
I
may
think they
still be
need to
too
lower
high a
the
price,
prices.
but
The
huh?
price is insane. I like they added that, but the price is insane.
Yeah.
Especially since those will probably never be as good as crafted ones, but they're
No, they're not. No, they were never
almost
intended to
double
be.
or triple the price.
Yeah, I don't know why they went so high on the price, but
What the shit? I mean,
I mean,
I
they
can get a
want to
blue
encourage.
vessel.
Sometimes when they want to encourage you to go find a crafter. What they're really doing is just discouraging you from even upgrading your character.
Yeah, tell me about it. I
Yeah,
mean, was it, I picked up a green vessel for like, I think it was like 20, 30 something thousand gold.
yeah,
And what are they charging in the shadows and dregs for a green vessel?
like 15.
15.
Yeah, white one's usually about 10 or 10, 10 to
Hold on.
12, and then greens are like 15, and then blues are like 18. Now, if you want one that's super high end crafted, though, I'm thinking you have to pay a little bit more for those. But
I'm getting
yeah,
confused. I thought you just said they were like 100,000 gold
oh,
for a blue one.
you mean the on the vendor, the
Yes,
vendored
the vendor.
ones? Yeah,
Yes.
those are they're just plain. I don't think they have anything on them. I'm
Yeah, they're
not
plain,
in
but I mean
town to
the
look.
pricing. Like, what's the pricing of a green one off a vendor?
Oh, I
Do you
think it
know?
was 100K. I said that
Yeah,
earlier.
okay.
Yeah.
So basically, three times the amount of which you typically of which you'd pay for a decent or even half decent vessel, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, if you can find one, that was the hard part. See, when we were playing, and we couldn't find vessels, like literally everybody was trying out other games and stuff.
Hmm.
Literally, there were no vendors open. Like none of the stores were open. Aaron's wasn't open. Patros was never open. Everybody was closed. So we were pretty much screwed. We couldn't advance our character. To me, like if I have a vessel on my character, even if it's going to take like a million years to get to the end, just the fact that I have it on there keeps me wanting to play that character versus knowing you're capped. You know what I'm saying? Capped at not max, but capped at a level. Then you don't want to play that character because you feel like you're wasting the experience points that you could be getting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know literally it's not really a problem, but it is to most people. It's a roadblock in your mind for
Yeah. I mean,
progression. So yeah. So but anyway, yes, I don't agree with the pricing right now, but I kind of want to. I think a lot of people are a little upset about the pricing. I'm sure some vendors are not, or crafters are maybe upset that they do that, but I think that it's good that they do it. It's just
yeah.
we may need to, massage the pricing a little bit to get it
Yeah. Definitely put the
where
pricing
people
down.
will actually do it.
Yeah.
Now, if they want to put in a system where it's easier to find crafters, and those crafters are always, available, and their store's not closed, you know,
Or make
24
it
hours of the
so.
day, 22 hours of the day, or 21 hours of the day, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But they already currently require crafters to check their EKs 8 times a day.
Yeah.
And if it's not, not every day is a full on foot traffic day for every single store.
Yeah.
Arinth gets a lot of traction because they got a lot of people recommend that one, but DV Trade, not yet, not so much. And we don't really offer that much stuff. We offer stuff for newer players, and that's kind of where that's where I live mostly, right? I try to keep people coming in, right? So I want
And
them to find stuff.
yeah. Or the occasional custom order for a higher end player if they got
Yeah, if they've got the mats and all that stuff. It's always,
yeah.
yeah, there's always so many barriers that I think this vendor change where they're allowing you to buy vessels is good because then you don't have to rely on other people, until you get to Epic, which is probably okay in my mind. You don't necessarily need to go to Legendary because you can do very well in the game on a rare vessel.
Yeah.
But, when you get to Epic, you kind of know, like, that's when you start really buying like the really high end. You want a super crafted, tailored to your character vessel is at Epic because you're going to be there a minute. You're going to be there a while. It takes a lot of points to get past Epic.
Yeah.
So unless you're just grind it completely out, which, yeah, who ain't nobody got time for that. Too many forts and keeps and stuff had to be taken down.
Yeah,
we're too busy.
it's a start in the right direction.
Yeah, it's a good
Um,
step.
Either they need to reduce the price heavily or make it easier for the solo player to sit there and craft their own vessel, whether it be adding needed materials for ambrosia to individual nodes or making it so where if you get to a certain point with your coring ability, you can start taking on mother loads by yourself. I will be right back in 1 minute. Something I didn't expect requires my attention.
Okie dokie. He just peed on himself. All right, so the another thing, and I'm just going to touch on this, and I don't know if any of you have this issue. Let me know down below. But sometimes, like if you go in and play the game and you just kind of switch around from, whether it's EKs to EKs or you go from your EK to town and back. A lot of times when I get done for the day, even if it's a short session, I get this little error message in a box, and it has a little submit button. So I submit every time that it happens or whatever, and that's fine. But I mean, it's been going on for a long time, and then sometimes I'll report it and I'll send in all this paperwork, but then support never finds anything. So I don't know what's going on with this thing. I even sent him a video one time, so I don't know. I was going to ask if when Xtreme comes back, I'll ask him. Oh, I was going to ask you if you get that error message sometimes when you close the game and it says there was some technical issues. And do you ever get errors when you're closing the game? Like if you
every single time, it always asks, "Do I want to send an error report?"
Yeah, do you send it every time? I wonder if they're actually getting them because. One of the messages I got from support was this: there's nothing in your logs to indicate this is a persistent error. And I'm like, well, it's pretty persistent on my game.
It's pretty fucking persistent.
It's really persistent. It's super persistent. I would say this is worse than my second ex-wife. Okay, this is pretty persistent. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And I said, we used to turn in reports all the time, and I started doing it again, just because I wanted to see now. Maybe now they got some folks on the staff that can figure this thing out, but I guess they're not ready quite yet. I don't know. But that's a very persistent error. So if you get that error, give this video a like or follow or something so that they know that I'm not the only one and Xtreme's not the only one that gets this. I've heard the reports from Nachos and from Dino will never tell me because he doesn't say anything bad about anything unless I'm picking on him. But, so yeah, I don't know, but it is very persistent. So hopefully they'll get that worked out because I have no idea what causes it. I know Nachos and I both agree that it usually has something to do with whenever we get those weapons that we don't need in our pack, which I still don't understand. Like nobody will talk about that with me. Like tell me why do we have to have those? Why can't they just take those out? Why can't they just not give me those? You know what it does?
That we can't use?
Well, yeah, the poor weapons that you get when you go from like an EK to the GR.
Oh, those weapons, your starter weapons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are we getting starter weapons when we already have weapons?
That actually just gave me an idea.
Well,
when we're out grinding,
yeah,
have the ability to sit there and set like a loop filter system so that way you can automatically ignore stuff that you just don't want to pick up because your inventory is not that big compared to how quickly it can fill up.
Like you could ignore common quality minor disciplines.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I see what you did there. But yeah,
whoa.
Or just common quality stuff in general.
Or poor.
Or poor because it sells for crap. I can't sacrifice it for anything.
Yeah, you can sell those poor items, those weapons they give you. You can sell each one of those for a gold. You know how much you can sell a common discipline for?
Zip.
Right, you can't. You have to throw it away. And you know what else you can't do is when you throw something out of your pack, you can't just throw it out of your pack. You can't I have not found a way where it just goes on the ground. You have to click confirm on every single one. You have to click confirm. You can't even hit enter.
No, I've done enter.
No, I haven't been able to do that. I don't think I have anything on my inventory. Let me see.
Here I got something I can try.
Yeah, there's no. If it had an enter, it would say enter over it.
No, this one's wanting me to sit there and confirm through the
Yeah,
stupid
like if I
Jenga
tab,
puzzle.
nothing happens. So I can't like pick which one I want. So you can't even go drag, drop, enter, drag, drop, enter. You have to go drag, drop, click. And it is so annoying. Anyway.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a full pack. If you get through a full hour in Sky Point in Tainted Hills, I have had to clean my pack out no less than 3 times just to keep going because it fills up all the way. And then you have to go through the maintenance during a timer, which really annoys me. It annoys me beyond imagination. So yeah, there's that. So that one was not a positive, but let's move on.
Yeah.
Now I'd like to also see, and I like when they give away those little trinkets you can put on your character. Right here, you got a badge, you got a belt, you got a back accessory. Well, I've got a bazillion badges and almost a bazillion belts, but I'd say very few belts, but I also have very little on back accessories that actually do anything. I'd like to see more options to either, besides crafting, to be able to get different ones of these, or to be able to change them from one thing to the other where you don't have to craft, where it's just more of an enchantment or something like that. Maybe let vendors sell enchants so that, I don't know, does that new thing allow them to sell their enchanted items that they're making, where they can put an enchant on? I'm not even asking for an additional enchant. What I'm asking is to change the equip option on it, on any piece that you can wear, so you can wear what you want and then put whatever option you want. If it's an additional enchant, fine, leave that to the crafters. But I think these badge, belt, and back, you should be able to change what thing is on it. It's because you can't stack them anyway, right? So why not let us change them?
Makes sense to me. So be able to swap out the enchantment as you see fit.
Not the enchantment, but the equip bonus. The enchant is a different thing. That's where the crafters can enchant them with some other property. And that's fine. I have no problem with that. I just think they should let me change what the equip is so I can wear what I want. I don't really want this guinea to have a book on his thing, but it's the only way I could get 3 different, items on him. I wanted the 3 items.
Yeah.
It's the only way I could do it. Nobody likes to have a character with empty slots. Like, this empty slot bothers me. I got a missing ring. I got to go pick up another ring. Stuff like that. But, that's just annoying to players. And I don't think that's asking a whole lot. I don't. But I could be wrong. So, should we move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The change in this is a change to dregs, where you have to have 10 non-free accounts to be eligible for rewards in dregs now, for certain things.
I think it's the percentile based rewards and not the whatever the other ones were.
What do you think of that? Didn't you mention that? Wasn't that yours?
I am taking credit for this idea, yes. I've been told on forums, and I'm totally full of shit, and that this stuff has been mentioned time and time again, but I don't care. I'm being selfish.
Yeah, I wouldn't care either. I'm totally giving you credit for that one.
I'm being selfish for the sole purpose of the timing of our last podcast.
That's
when
right.
We talked about
and then all of a sudden it's fixed.
And then the release of this.
It's you.
Which even though I don't like dregs, I don't want to play in dregs. I think this is a good thing because it cuts down on those who are just basically cheesing the system and taking advantage of a poorly thought out mechanic.
I believe one of my guildies called it gaming the game. And it's like, yeah, that's cheeseball shit. That's what that is. Yeah, okay. So basically, I don't like that kind of stuff. I won't condone it. I also won't condemn it, but I won't condone it. Okay?
Yeah, I'll condemn it all day. I mean, my response to this was get wrecked, you cheesers.
Hey, Tangambu, how's it going?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, finally catch you online. Great. Nice to see you here.
Hey, Tongamu. I saw Tongamu followed us 4 days ago. That's great. Followed this channel, so thank you.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So we're just chit
Noise.
chatting it up about a little Crowfall again because we can.
Yeah, because we can and we will.
All right. So, oh yeah. So that was actually a hot fix too. So that's why I doubly am giving you credit because that was immediately after our show that they fixed that.
Yeah, that was a hot fix. So I'm particularly proud of that one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm totally in your corner on that one, buddy. That's all you. I don't care what they say. They can be mad all they want. All right. So, all right. Here's a time. Can you tell I'm good? This one's kind of a. I don't know how to feel about this one, but a time to rest. Okay. I feel like we need a time between campaigns to do other stuff. However,
Yeah.
we don't have really a lot else to do, and we
That's
don't.
a double-edged.
Yeah, so we don't want to encourage people to go beat up the newbies, but at the same time, we definitely need to rest. And one of the ways I found that I can do that is I just don't jump right into the next campaign. I know strategically everybody likes to be on top of this and they like to go capture everything and get their all that, but I can't do that every time. I just can't. That last campaign about did me in. So I don't know. What do you think? You tell me what you think.
Well, I agree. It ties back into what we talked about earlier with the need of more content. There is zero content in this game. The only content you have is shadows and dregs.
And which are
And
almost identical except for a few rules are different.
they're basically all, yeah, the only one is, shadows is factions for faction and dregs is guild for guild. Aside from that, they're basically a carbon copy of each other. And they are back to back to back to back. There is no break in between.
Yeah, and there's
And,
a definite divide between those. Like there are people that only want to do one, and there's people that only want to do the other. They do not want to switch back and forth. If you got rid of one of those, it would probably be like catastrophic for the game.
I mean, well, no matter, yeah, they're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, the main solution, in
Yeah,
my opinion, is have something to do in the interim.
yeah,
Finish a campaign, take a week off, but have something to do. Which, at this point, I'd say expand Skypoint,
yeah,
reverse some of the changes you made.
yeah.
All right, either keep the disciplines common. I don't care about that, but either make them to where you can sell gold, or they can be used for XP for low-level
Or
characters
make
who are
it
still
into a
trying.
drop of dust or ethereal dust or something.
Yeah, turn it into ethereal dust or something. Um,
Everything else
you know,
drops dust.
make them useful, especially for the newer players who are still trying to learn the game. Getting rid of the exploration discs as a drop in Sky. At least I feel like they got rid of them. Either that or the drop chance is so low they may as well have gotten rid of them. Add
Yeah,
them back. Okay, you don't have to sit there and increase. Well, the drop chance was pretty bad to begin with until you got going with your uncommons and whatnot. Once you got enough of those and you make your rares, and once you got going on that, the drop chance was negligible and you're doing pretty good. And at that point, no matter where you go farming for disciplines, you're going to find a decent amount. Prior to that, in Skypoint, because that's the only place I knew where to get disciplines, the drop chance was horrible. I think I spent 3 hours and I got one, maybe two disciplines for 3 hours of logging, and this was live on stream, and everyone's going, "What the hell?" That's because I
yeah,
didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a backpack, which I couldn't have equipped anyways. Didn't have a high enough discipline, and that alone, one, it gives the new players a chance to sit there and realize how much crafting and gathering the system can be a pain in the ass. But it also still lets them progress without having to sit there and go risk their inventories being lost while they don't know what they're doing.
yeah.
So, too long didn't listen. Put the exploration disciplines back in Skypoint. There's no harm in having them there.
Yeah.
And on top of that, expand Skypoint, as Fear said. It is the main world. Expand it. Give us something to do there.
Yeah.
You gotta give
Put your dungeons in there. Put your gladiator arenas. Put all kinds of stuff in there. I mean, that's the way this game is built. It's not. I mean, it's built to be campaign based. There are other game modes that they haven't even finished yet. So
what's this Hunger Dome thing I keep hearing about?
Hunger Dome is like it's can't remember the style of the game, but PUBG, them those
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. Yeah, it's a Battle Royale kind of thing where the hunger keeps like coming in closer and closer and closer, and eventually it's just a little tiny circle, and
that sounds like fun because
it is fun.
I mean,
it's hella fun.
Durability loss is turned off.
I don't know. I don't remember. There was no durability loss when we played it. So
I mean, durability loss,
you actually just grabbed stuff off the rack. You get in, you grab stuff off the rack. They put you in one of 3 areas or whatever it is, and then everybody kind of converges on one area. It might have been faction based even. It was just fun. I can't remember exactly.
Great way to practice PvP in a safe environment while also learning a build.
Yeah,
and being fun. But if you look at the current Skypoint map, leave that alone, but have parcels expanding outward into more areas. And the further out you go, the more dangerous it gets.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. I don't think everybody needs to be in the same spot. I don't. The world was not designed that way. I mean, all worlds the MMOs are big places. They're not supposed to just walk in and see 800 million people. That's why you make God's Reach beautiful, because then people will want to hang out there, and they will want to show off their fancy new mounts and their if we ever get skins, they can show off their skins, they can show off their dances, their whatever. People do that, and if they're ready to go out into the world, they walk through a portal and they go, yes, this portal leads to the bad dungeon area place. Go there. And then you go in there, and maybe other people go too, and it puts you all together. You can still kill each other if you want, but maybe it's more like the way Black Desert does it a lot of times. You actually literally have to focus fire on someone to get it right. So you have to literally be looking. In Black Desert, you have to pretty much look directly somebody in the eye and then hit them to get them to be a PvP thing. You have to hit them directly. I don't know if you can AoE them.
Yeah, there's some AoE stuff and that you can do.
I've never experienced that part of it, but I just felt like, I mean, friendly fire's going to happen. People just have to be more careful about what they're shooting in that case. I mean, you can still kill each other, I guess, but, in Black Desert, if somebody gets out of line in one of those areas where PvP is allowed, everybody just gangs up on them and kills them, right?
Yeah.
That's how that should work. I mean, they police themselves. There's not one guild riding in, dun, 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 we're going to kill all of you,
I mean, there are times that happens, but they tend to stay on the Arsha server, which is their PvP focused server. PvP's turned on all the time.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, there's a million different ways to look at it, I guess, but I'll leave it there. So, yeah, I just think there should be a way to have a break. So what people get is they get FOMO. So, like, the next campaign starts the next day after you just got you're barely even dressed yet, right? Because you got to go find your freaking clothes and all that stuff, which I hate. And then once you get all that ironed out, and then you figure out, well, gee, maybe I want to work on my character a little bit for a little while. Maybe I want to go build something. Maybe I want to go redesign my EK, whatever. But to do that, I have to miss out on the beginning of the campaign, which is a very perceptually important time for most people to start. And so I guess what I was doing this time is I was like, look, I'm just going to take a week off and do whatever the hell I need to get done. And when I got done with everything, I came into the Shadow, and it's all still there. The way some of the changes they made, I think, are very good, and I think I have that on my list too. So we'll get into some of that. Starting with campaign endings and rewards. I feel like, I don't have proof of this, but I feel like that the rewards for the Shadow this time were lower than I ever remember.
Really?
Yes, because I remember, and I don't know, maybe I did something special, but back in the day, when we won a campaign, I used to get a lot more things. Like I would get these rubies and gems and things and all this stuff that I would just give to Dino because I couldn't identify it as a weapon of death. So I would say, oh, this must be a crafting item, and I would give it to Dino. But I didn't get any of that stuff, and I just didn't. I don't know. When I walked away from the Shadow last time, although I worked a lot, right? Because I had the most
Yeah.
deaths, and I had the second highest captures, and all that kind of thing. So I definitely did some working, right? I was playing a lot, and I was up at 3 in the morning taking Aussie keeps and forts and all kinds of things.
Mhm. So, I mean, what were we supposed to get? Because all I got
I
this
just
time
feel
was,
like it wasn't enough. I don't
well, I mean,
remember. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I never
I'm,
paid attention until this one because I didn't get as much as I got the last time.
I'm saying all I got was a few stacks of gold, which was nice, and conquest coins, and that was it.
Yeah, but I'm saying before, like one time I got this. Oh, it's not on this character, but I got a back piece. It was a skull, and it was a mount speed skull. I got that one time. And I thought that was great. I don't know if you've seen it on my Vindy. My Vindy has the horse mount skull,
Mm-hmm.
and that gives them a 5 or 10%. I can't remember, 5 or maybe 5% mount speed buff. And
Mm-hmm.
it's something they only used to. Yeah, they used to have these other events too called I don't remember, Skullaramas or something. Okay, I'm saying it completely wrong. I know it, but they used to have another event where it was mostly like you just go kill it. Decapathon, yes, the decapathons. I don't know what happened to those. I mean, like I said, I kind of went on hiatus for a few years because I just got tired of doing the same thing over and over and over. But some of these guys stuck around, and a lot of them are still in the same mindset from back then. And I think that's what's making things harder is everybody's in their bubble and they can't come out of that bubble. No matter what I say, no matter how I prove them wrong or give them evidence to the contrary, they will not exit the bubble. Just like that guy not believing what you said about your experience in the dregs. He thought that was impossible. Couldn't have happened. Must have been something on his end. He must have been laying out there, jumping up and down, telling everybody, "Hey, come kill me in chat." I mean, that's the thing is that, and I even was telling them about, hey, you guys, when you guys come to the Shadow, you guys come in there and try to tell us what to do, and they're like, "Well, we're just trying to share our experiences with you and help you guys play the game properly." And I'm like, but we have experiences too, and they're not the same as yours, and we don't, you know what I mean? We don't we don't work for you. This is not guild versus guild. It's faction versus faction. So all of us guilds, we don't all, if we all work together, that's great, but we don't have to. You know what I mean? We're not in alliances and whatnot.
Yeah. Tame would answer your question. If you're just starting a campaign, don't bother buying your gear. If you go look on EKH for gears, it's gonna be expensive. Just take what you have, go into Shadows, go to Sun Elves or someplace and just farm them and use War Tribe gear. That's basically what I used.
Yeah, dropped green, blue. You can get a long way with white. I mean, you can with common.
Yeah.
But even in Skypoint, like hell, I go out with my level 32. I go out and fight naked in what's that place called? The Tainted Hills.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was out there naked the other night. All my armor fell off, and I just kept going, and I was fine.
So yeah, I would save your gold and just use basically what's called War Tribe gear, which is just the gear that drops from mobs. Thornberry, I don't know. Does this channel have drops?
I don't think we have those.
Yeah, I don't think we have those.
We don't ask for favors. We like the people that come here to actually want to be here, not here because we offer them something.
Yeah,
For free.
I try to get drops on my channel.
We offer you our love and affection and our knowledge for free. That's what we offer here.
And hugs. If you were here, I'd give you a hug.
I would.
Yeah. I mean, after what he just said, I mean, I tried to get drops on my channel, and I think I got denied.
Yeah, I never tell them when I'm going to stream, so they never know, so they never sign me up for them.
I mean, I applied to be an affiliate and all that, and I just never heard back.
You're scum.
You told me to.
Plus, you know
it was
me.
like your advice. You said do it.
Oh, well, then you're a smart scum.
Gosh.
I'm just kidding. I really don't know. All I know is everything's been turned upside down for those guys, and they're still not right.
Guest here.
They're not right yet.
Yeah.
Oh, you stop. I'm usually very nice to you.
He is.
So take a break. Oh, the other thing, I know Highlander was kind of up in arms about this. When you get the I don't understand this, but why are all the good campaign rewards random instead of letting you just pick what you wanted? I worked my ass off for 35 days and I can't even, they didn't even give me enough to buy. I mean, I could have bought like one random legendary item. And it's like, come on, really? I
That's
mean,
what I did.
35 days and I get one crappy item. I mean, that just seemed wrong to me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if it's legendary, hopefully it's not crappy. But no,
But
that's
yeah,
what
but
I.
what if it's one that I don't need?
Then you wasted them.
Yeah, I don't like to do that. I mean, it's my points, right? I should
So
be at least able to pick what I want to get.
if it's an exploration discipline, I can understand the randomness. If it's like a piece of armor or a weapon,
Well, I think a
I would
major,
say
I think you should be able to pick your majors too.
I mm, that could be a bit broken though, because then everyone's just gonna be picking, the highest end majors possible. Can't you sell those things though?
Well, they do the metas anyway. I mean, you're not going to stop them from doing meta. You're just, I mean,
Yeah,
so
but
what? So it takes them 3 months instead of 3 years to get their legendary. I mean, what? How long do they really think we're going to try to get those things
fair enough. I
before
guess it
we
also
give
depends
up?
on which. I think it depends also on which ones you're getting as well. So that's a fair point. Yeah,
Well, then only make a certain number of them not random, or you can still pick the random one, or you can pick one of these, like like how they do the starter. When you start a new character, you can either pick the meta or you can pick your own. That's what
yeah,
I'm
that's a
saying.
fair. That is a fair point. So like if you pick a weapon, does it just give you a random weapon, or does it at least notice it there and give you something that you can actually use?
I don't know. Does it even offer weapons? I never saw weapons.
I don't know if it does
No,
or
it only
doesn't.
does majors, minors, and exploration.
And
And
I
then
think
there's other
also
stuff too, like you can get ore
okay, so
and
materials.
bark, and yeah, you can do whatever. Yeah, tree stuff, whatever. And yeah, but it's all and everything I got, like I did pick up like some random thing. I thought, well, maybe I'll get something cool, and I ended up with another badge, right? So I didn't even get like I have a gazillion badges already, and then now I got another badge which I can't really use on a fighter to begin with, and then like I just don't need it. I've got like this guinea right here. He's got the exploit. He's got the harvesting badge on. Really, for my guinea, that's all the badge I'll ever need. I mean, that's
Yeah.
for harvesting when I decide to harvest, if I decide to harvest. But I also made him so he could kill people. But outside of that, yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the current reward system, and I just hope that they'll take another look at that because, like I said, besides the fact that I thought the rewards were a little bit low comparative to the amount of work that I did, because I was in there every day and sometimes multiple times a day because I would go to bed at like 10 o'clock at night. I'd get up at 2:30 in the morning and go siege Australia, solo, even though I don't agree I should have been able to do that. I did, and I and I think I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that they fixed this thing because there was this deal where people would come and take down walls at night or whatever when we were out, because when people are offline it gets quiet, right? So then you come around, you take down a wall, and then the next night you might take down another wall. Well, then all of a sudden, eventually the guards we're going back down to 4, right? Because of the damage that you did to the fort. So, I mean, as much as I wasn't thrilled when it was happening to me, it was actually very helpful for me to take stuff that was in Australia because I couldn't do it all in one sitting because they were all max level forts, right? So
Mhm.
I would take down a wall. If I come back the next night and they hadn't fixed the wall, then I'd take down another wall. And then on the third night, I'd come back and there'd only be 4 guards. And then basically I could solo that. But I mean, I can solo 10 guards, but boy, it takes a hot minute. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You got to
Yeah, that's
really kite those bad boys. You got to be
oh yeah.
pretty skilled.
Like I struggle with just one. Well,
Yeah.
since the new ones came out,
Oh
I
yeah, the
struggle
new
with
ones are
one.
pretty tough. I almost got killed by a couple archers today, and I was like, wow,
Oh,
they're a
yeah.
lot tougher.
Say one archer alone nearly killed me.
Yeah. But
So
yeah. So anyway, that's that Sitch. Uh, but, but, but,
So yeah, I agree. But yeah, the rewards, I agree. Probably needs another look.
yeah,
I've never been a fan of RNG stuff, to be honest.
I'm not a big fan of RNG either. I prefer, skill. I love time. I don't mind. I don't like time based. Like it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's better in my opinion than RNG based.
Well, I
Because
say
RNG
RNG.
based, you can literally never progress all the way to the top. I mean,
I I understand it's a good mechanic to have when implemented properly, but like with the reward system, I don't like it.
like it
With the
doesn't weight them towards like what you need either. It should
yeah,
at
with the
some point weight towards what you're doing. You've
mhm,
already got a common one in your on your body. Why doesn't that weight that one a little more? That's what I'm looking for. I'm using it.
mhm,
Give me that one every once in a while. That'd be great. But no,
yeah,
on this particular guinea for sure. Like look, I'll show you. Well, Master of
yeah.
Darkness and Grim Reaper, both of those are super hard for me to find. I have not been able to find any of them. So, and I've got like 6 or 7 guys that throw all this stuff into a one big box and still none. So there's something going on there.
Yeah, I can understand the RNG with crafting though, because you can mitigate that with buffs and potions and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But yeah, with the prize system, I hate that personally. I just don't like it.
I get it. So, okay, so the
I'd rather you just I'd rather they limit if they have to sit there and do some way to sit there and limit what we can get, then give us a fixed list to choose from at least.
yeah.
Disciplines, jewelry, armors, weapon.
Yeah, at least give us a set list that might apply to our character that we're currently playing. They know what our stats are, right? So they could easily look at the stats and go, well, this ring would be good for you. You want it? And you could say yes or no. Or, you know what I mean? It could just be in the vendor. This is the ones that we think you might like. And you can
Well,
pick one of these.
it doesn't even have to be personalized. Just sit there
Well,
and
it
say,
should be,
okay,
though, if that's the way
well,
they're paying out.
no, well, hear me out. So you sit there like you want a weapon, all right? You go look at the weapons. Here's a bunch of epic or even legendary weapons, one for each class, and the stats are randomly rolled based on the quality. So it may not, so the weapon may be legendary and have decent stats, but it may not be the perfect stat you're looking for, but it could still be an upgrade over what you
Yeah,
have.
I'm not asking for max stats for everything. I'm just
So
asking for letting me choose what I want.
yeah, what I'm saying is like a mass like list of stuff that just says, okay, either here's what you can choose from, take it or leave it.
Well, of
And
course, you could
yeah,
do that
and
too.
without having to look at each individual player's stats to try and personalize that list towards the player.
Well, I just know it's super possible, and that would
Yeah.
also make it like if you took 4 characters to the shadow, then you can at least upgrade whichever one you want. Say I don't want to do anything to the guinea right now, but I want something for my Vindy, so I take my Vindy to the rewards vendor, and the rewards vendor can generate stuff for Vindy,
Well,
right?
I'm saying it doesn't
Easily,
have to. I'm saying it doesn't have to generate stuff. So even if you, my idea is, even if you went to the vendor with your guinea, there'd still be stuff there for a Vindy to
maybe.
pick from. There'd be
Yeah.
stuff for your guinea for a Vindy. There'd be stuff for every class.
Well, I mean,
You
how big
just
do you want these vendors' inventories to be, though? I'm just trying to
well, I mean,
say
so I mean, you have a weapons vendor. Okay, so your weapons are you have a book, a frostcaster thing, sword, axe, knife. I mean,
hammers,
and hammer. Okay, there's a lot of stuff. They
two-handed
need
axes,
so the inventories might need
and
to be increased
don't
just
think they're going
a
to
bit.
stop there. They're going to add more weapons over time, I'm sure.
Well, okay,
But
new
yeah,
thought then. Instead of having one of each individual weapon, you sit there and say, okay, here's like a package for what would be an assassin. Here's a package for what would be a Templar, and then hopefully it's stuff that benefits whatever it is you want.
yeah. Well,
But
like I said,
they,
there's a lot of different ways to look at it.
yeah, however
So
they go about it, the RNG needs to be cut
it
out,
needs to be,
down, reduced.
or yeah, or we need an additional thing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
all right.
reduced, removed, revamped.
So, I noticed that a lot, like especially when the Dregs guys come in and help us. They the way it is in the Dregs, like everything is about consuming and containing everything, like a control thing. You know what I mean? Like they have to have their little grippers on everything they can, and then they hold on to it. Like, remember that guy? Remember Daffy Duck when he goes, "I'm a happy miser," and he was holding on to like a pearl or whatever or something. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that episode.
that's a dregs guy, right? In the shadow, we found that you know they've made it now so that like outposts and forts are pretty important, right? So like to just go in and have a keep with a level 3 bell tower doesn't win the game for you. Now maybe it did in the past, but that doesn't win the game for you anymore. As a matter of fact, as we found out,
Be more of a hindrance.
it was actually preventing a lot of things, and the more stuff we tore down, the higher our point gain became, because we had the stamina to sit there and take all the forts and all the outposts every day. We had guys on in the daytime, we had guys on at night, so it was great. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, sorry, no, go ahead. I was interrupting you. I apologize.
no, it's okay, man. As long as one of us recognizes, it's all good. So yeah, so I mean, we just found out through trial and error, because we were under the same impression that you had to. Basically, we were trying to capture everything on the map, right? And that was like, well, we couldn't defend any of it. I mean, really, we couldn't. The dregs guys came in, shredded all our stuff. So then and then the things they didn't shred, they would take our level 3 bell towers and make them theirs. And I thought, well, let's just remedy that situation and let's just tear everything down. And it worked. It was working. And I was like, whoa, this is awesome. Because, you know, like I said, the game's about stamina. You know what I mean? It's not just the world's going to die anyway. Can't take it with you when you go. So why is everybody always trying to hold on to everything? They should destroy everything. That's what we're there for anyway. That's what's the hunger's going to do it anyway. Why not help them? Is the way I look at it. But anyway, that was just my tip for the week. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I personally agree with you. The longer you hang on to a keep, by the time you lose it, and you will eventually,
Yeah, it's
you
devastating.
take a huge loss.
Yeah.
So yeah, that scorched earth attack is, if you have to have a keep, pick one, because having a keep is not a bad idea, because it does help you with the points lead initially.
Yeah.
But I find just focusing outposts and forts, which are smaller and easier to work with and take less maintenance, is a much better tactic.
Well, especially, yeah, if you're not one of those people that can play 24 hours a day, you're not going to make it. You're just not going to make it. So just make it easier on yourself. Make it easier on your friends. Don't give your friends jobs to do. Don't capture things in Australia unless you're going to go maintenance them. Because getting up at 3 a.m. sucks, and you can ask either Xtreme or I that. We both experienced that.
Was horrible.
Me multiple times, because I was trying to take all the forts and all the keeps down to 0, and we did that. I have a picture, by the way.
Yeah, we did.
So, wow, that was a rough campaign, man. I am still, even just thinking about it makes me like, my eyes are getting heavy right now. I'm like wanting to take a nap. So
I'm still trying to catch up on the logs I forgot to fill out.
oh yeah, my logs that I make.
Yeah.
Some of these other guild leaders, you guys got to lighten up a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, speaking of logs, by the way, I am logging right now, so there you go. I'm taking those resources.
Nice. You get them.
Yeah.
You get them, baby.
I almost forgot to sit there and write that down, put it in the log.
Let's see. The new shadow campaign changes, which is another section. Okay, so the guards being beefier, I think is awesome.
Because beforehand, they were just in the way and easily avoidable.
Well, and not only that, but you shouldn't really, technically, even though I love, it should be really hard to solo a fort and a keep, especially a keep, but a fort, yeah, it should be hard. And it is hard now, and I think that's good.
Especially a level 10 fort. My God, those things hit hard.
Yeah, they do. And I checked that out this morning. My Vindy was like, what the hell, brah?
Yeah. And that wall glitch doesn't work anymore. So forts, in my opinion, are actually worth taking because they're easy to maintain.
Yeah.
And you do need you either need to be on an amazing character or have at least one other person with you.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible to solo, but it's
hard, and it's always been hard. And I don't want it to be impossible for solo people to play, but I definitely I understand that they want to, you know, promote at least some kind of partner system, at least, if nothing else. And that's acceptable to me, except I still think they need to make some resources available to solo crafters. That doesn't have to be a lot, but it should be available so that people can actually learn the stuff. Because some of this stuff is impossible to learn without a group or a friend or somebody that actually knows what the hell's going on. And I don't like that part.
Yeah, one thing I did find out, you can get rough gems from mining the single nodes.
Oh, can you? Okay, good.
Yes, yep.
I didn't know that.
I still don't know about the items you get from the stone coring, though. I still think those are limited to the mother loads.
Yeah, see, I get most of my crafting stuff from vendors. Like if somebody's selling a purple one for $5,000 or something, or $20,000, I might buy it. But I will never be the one to. That stuff is too expensive to make, so I'm just not ever going to make one. But I mean that damn Dom dust, God, that's like a nightmare, dude. And that needs to be for sale on the EK vendors. Did I mention that?
Yes, you did.
Good.
It'd be cheaper too.
That'd be. Oh man, you don't even. I don't know what their life expectancy is, man. I mean, even for like somebody that's I mean, I play MMOs for years sometimes, but I don't want to take years to finish my character. I want to make another one,
Yeah.
And it's like, Jesus, man. So they raised the node levels for crafters, which I thought was great. I've heard nothing but positive reviews from everybody that's been harvesting and stuff like that. So, yeah, great. That was a good change. One thing I've noticed about Crowfall, and I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, Crowfall took crafting to a level I never thought I'd see. Crafters, by nature, are not killers, and they have made them into murderers. I mean, literally, our one crafter was the most passive guy I ever met when he first started playing Crowfall. He even wrote like a 7-page essay on how they needed to make it so the crafters didn't have to engage. Now he's leading the leaderboard across all 3 factions in kills.
Yeah. The most pacifist guy is now the most bloodthirsty.
Yeah, he is bloodthirsty. Like, he gets super angry when he loses now. I'm like, what the hell, dude? I'm like, oh my God, what has happened to you, bro? Yeah, it's weird. Crafters are supposed to have ways to escape, not ways to murder everybody. And this little guinea right here, he can murder you in ways that I don't even want to talk about. But that's the thing, is that whoever, I don't know, that was diabolical what the devs did with the crafting stuff, because they made crafters into killers, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose, I think, because I don't want to be a crafter. So
I mean, I look at it this way. I mean, the game, to me, it looked like there was supposed to be a bit of a dynamic between crafters and combatants, where one would play off the other. But now
it's just the crafters are the combatants, and they kick your ass. And because they can craft whatever they need to kill you even better.
Yeah.
Where the combatant guy's going, hey man, how did he do that? And he just threw a throw rug in my pack and killed me. He knitted a throw rug while he was kicking the crap out of me. I don't know what's going on here. I could knit a sweater with my eyes closed and kill somebody.
My thing is, I feel like the crafters are the most underappreciated as well.
Yeah, I mean they are, but god dang, they're tough.
I mean, gear-wise, they're going to carry you through a campaign as long as they have the materials. But they seem to also get the least amount of rewards at the end when the guild leader's handing them out.
Oh yeah, I've heard that story a million times.
I've heard that a few times. Yeah.
Because crafters don't necessarily want to play in the conquest per se. They just want to craft. But if they run into somebody, I have no problem with defending themselves and getting away. But these guys, they can literally lash out and whip your butt into the ground.
Yes. Especially
in 4 hits. Yeah. A guinea could take my Vindy out. Well, maybe not now, but 4 hits. And I'd be like, what? And I didn't even ever see him, because he'd go right back under the ground. I know what skill that is now, by the way. But
there was that one guinea we fought earlier. My gosh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did
He's
everything to him.
taking-
I poisoned him. I bludgeoned him. I blinded him. Everything, and he just was like, "Ho!" And I was like, "Holy shit, dude!"
Yeah, it was you on your guinea, and then me and two other guys on our Vindies. So it was a guinea and three Vindies versus one guinea, and it took forever for us to pin him down and kill him. We literally had to sit there and back him into a corner so he couldn't move.
Yeah, and I'm wearing freaking treated plate armor, and he still just laid me to rest like it was nothing. I was like, "Dang, man, what the hell, yo!" But anyway,
It was nuts.
we had, yeah. So, all right. So I'm gonna move on. We're running kind of long. It's okay, but
yeah.
So we had a comment this week, and I wanted to read it. We had a comment from Mary Jane, and she left this comment on Crow Talk 12, which was last week's video. If you want to watch that, there's links for it somewhere around here. And then it says, she says she's still not, well, I'm assuming it's a she. But anyway, I'm still not done with the whole episode, but I agree so much with the sentiment about the game trying to turn you into a crafter. Yes. Preach. And then when you're here to just kill mobs, players, etc., forcing players into doing something they don't like is just one more of the masochistic ideas of making the game inconvenient to the player instead of making it fun. Praise Mary Jane. I think that was well stated.
Yep.
Can't really argue with it, Mary Jane. We love your show. We would love to have you on sometime. We could talk about it. So I guess too, I also just wanted to mention our first PvP EK event went, I thought, pretty well considering what we were up against. We were up against flavonoids and a very tight. No, it wasn't even tight. We smashed Sun so hard in the last event. But, it was the end of the campaigns for Dregs and Shadow, and it was also, which is another good reason to give us some time off. With, these EKs, we can run events and stuff ourselves, all week long if we have to, but...
Didn't we discuss something like that where player created events and rewards?
Well, I don't know about rewards. I don't know that they'll ever give us that power.
I know that, but I'm saying we talked about. I remember one of the very first podcasts.
Yeah, I think we did mention it before.
We discussed that where if a guild or something wants to sit there and host an event, it was player created dungeons on the EK.
Oh yeah, that's what we did mention.
That's what it was.
But in retrospect, I just wanted to say I thought the event went well, and I wanted to thank at least Mr. Most Mad and Finn for showing up. We had a lot of good fights that day, and we learned a lot. And I got some feedback, which caused me to immediately change the EK around again, which excited all the guild members. They were all very happy about that. But I got some good feedback, so I made some adjustments so that things are a little more streamlined and flow better and stuff like that. So, yeah. So I hope that we get to do that again. That was kind of fun. Just go in there and turn on the PvP and run around in these little, boxes I created and kill each other. That was great fun. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's one thing.
Yeah.
The ability to take a character who's locked to a campaign and still send them to an EK without having to unlock them. Because aside from our event, there are other EKs. Like I think it was like Nothing Personal EK. You also host events throughout the campaign. But I personally can't go because my one combatant character is stuck in Shadows.
Right, yeah, that is kind of an issue. Yeah, you bet. A better way for us to be able to travel back and forth, because if you take your character out, well, for one, I think you have to leave one character in, so you're definitely one's locked in there permanent. And then when you come back, you have to spend more points to get them back in. So it's not really great. So I think that's something they really need to address.
I personally just hate the whole import-export system in general.
Yeah, I'm not really thrilled about that. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that, because the last big thing we're going to talk about today is this address to the union, or address to an open letter to the Monumental team, right? I think you sent me this.
Oh, is this is it Dick Barker's cat post?
Yeah, Nickelbacker's cat. Now I'm not going to read the whole thing, but
Yeah, it's some good ideas. I liked others I didn't.
he had some ideas. He wants to see more things to do. Okay, so we agree with him there.
Hmm.
He wants more content. I get it, and more fun. Okay, I think everybody agrees. Crowfall needs more fun. And this is on the forums, by the way. I might, if I remember, I will. It's on the community.crowfall.com website. So if you remember that, you can definitely find Dick Baker's cat or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
He also talked about. He thinks they should remove one or the other campaigns, which I don't agree with.
Yeah,
I think they
that one I
need
don't
more
agree with.
campaigns, actually. You don't need to know exactly where to go. What it needs to be done is they need to make it clear what you're getting yourself into. How many days are left in it? Because if you join a campaign like 2 days before it's over, you're not going to have much fun. You know what I mean? So there should be other campaigns going on in the interim. Maybe one just started that obviously with the player base being low, that's fine, but they could still have other shorter campaigns that they could put in there for new players that aren't as long. I think they're just doing them long because they're trying to make Dregs in the Shadow be the world instead of Skypoint, which I think is totally backwards. They need to change their thinking there. They need to unlearn what they have learned, as Yoda once said. Remove points from Dregs. I'm not sure about this one because I don't play Dregs. He can't tell by the leaderboards if they're winning or not. I don't know if that's true.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't really played Dregs a whole lot, so I don't know what he's getting on. Because what I did see in Dregs was the point system works as the same as in Shadows. The more keeps you in forts and outposts you hold, the more points you have. So I don't know what he's going on about that.
Yeah, the only thing I do kind of get confused about is the divine stuff because it doesn't tell you what's going on with divine until after it's happened.
Yeah.
So you can't really go, do we need more of these? Do we need to sacrifice more of this, or do we need to capture more of those? Who's winning this thing right now? That part I agree with. So they definitely need to have a better system for us to be able to see what's actually going on rather than just showing us after spring's over, then we get the list of how many points each of us got, which would be helpful for us to know how we're doing while we're doing. It's more of a motivational thing. Like if I see we need 50 more, we need 50 more of these sacrificial items to beat these guys, and then we go do that. That's a better system in my mind than because right now I look at it and I have like zero idea how are we doing with this. I don't even know. I just basically ask Dino, are we doing okay here? And he'll go, yeah, don't worry about me. Okay, right on, man. And then we go, this one I don't like.
Well, before I move off that one, the point thing, I do like where he says make it about resources and territory. Because you are at war and you are fighting other people, and that typically in a war, that's what you're fighting over is resources and territory. So I do like that idea.
Okay.
How they would implement that and flesh it out, I have no freaking clue.
Yeah, I don't know that they can in the way they have it. I don't know that that's cool if you're playing Risk, but we're not quite with a land that's going to blow up anyway. Do we really care that much about the territory because we're just going to lose it in a couple of weeks anyway.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with that one as much. I mean, I can understand where he's coming from, but I'm not 100% sold on his thought process. Now, the other one I don't like is make capping outpost costs, resources, or at the very least require 3 people to cap. No, absolutely not. That is definitely a solo player or a small person. That's their game. That's their part of the game. I would never take that away from them. Never. Because I wouldn't play at all if I couldn't have started there. Right? If I had to go in there and I had to have 3 people to cap this. No, hell no. I want to sneak in there and steal it. Look, they already give you a freaking GPS location. They give you a fire on the map. They give you 2 horn sounds whilst you're doing it. That's plenty of time for you to come kill them. If you can't kill them in that amount of time, get good.
And well, yeah, that or just wait for him to finish capping and come in behind him before the guards respawn and recap it back.
When these 400-player guilds complain about stuff like that, I just laugh. Because technically, they could have people standing everywhere. You could actually literally cover the map with your people. So I don't want to hear it. All right, so yeah, nobody crafts. Now, I don't believe that. Everybody crafts. I don't know what he's saying. What is he saying?
So I think it's that for a game that's as heavily based on crafting, there's not as many crafters as you think there'd be. There's very few crafters who are at a level
that can do that level.
Useful,
well, not according to Nani. No, Nani says he's just a normal guy, and everybody does that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no. Nani told me that's a lie. That the flavonoid thing wasn't hard at all. Everybody can do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then he told me, and that's anytime I bring up crafting, he's, oh no, everybody knows that we do that. I've even heard Dino say that, and I'm like, yeah, no, they don't. No. I'd say it's a very small amount that do.
It's not that there's no crafters. There's just very few proficient crafters.
Yeah, very good crafters.
I know what to do beyond basic or intermediate tools.
Yeah, and I never plan to go past intermediate tools. Never.
Yeah.
And that's only because I have to, not because I want. I don't even want to go to intermediate tools. I don't mind making a Band-Aid here and there, but don't make me chop trees and mine so I can help my buddies. And I don't like any of that. I don't like having to use the wood table and the blacksmithing table and the other tables just so I can upgrade my character to the next stage.
Recipes are, in my opinion, a bit convoluted at times.
Recipes are horrible. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but my God. Yeah, you shouldn't need 12 guys to make a butter knife, okay? I know they've backed off on a lot of that, but holy sweet Jesus. I don't know who thought up some of that stuff, but they were evil. That person should be arrested.
Hey,
okay? He's in here, or he's just in the chat?
Twitch. He's like, so I can go. He's asking if you can go on vacation.
Dino, check it out, buddy. We built you a siege engineer building in the keep. Yeah. Oh, I gave away something. Sorry. Anyway, sorry, I shouldn't have said that out loud. You better check it out. We built you a bunch of stuff today, buddy. So no, you can't go on vacation.
Yeah, because remember, nobody crafts, so we need you.
Yeah, we have no crafters except for you.
Apparently, I'm not at your level yet, so I'm not a good substitute.
You're not even
good enough.
We would not ask you for a thing except for Band-Aids. And even that's suspect. We're just like, are these good Band-Aids?
It won't be. I don't know how to craft it.
Yeah, you don't even know how to craft a Band-Aid.
I know how to do the basic ones.
Now, I see what he's saying about you join each campaign with nothing. Mm-hmm. And I agree, but I don't, because again, that's making everybody craft to get their character going.
We kind of skipped the whole nobody crafts thing. We talked about it to understand it, but we never actually.
Well, I just think he's wrong about what he's saying. What's he saying? You go on. You tell me more about it.
What was it? So he's basically saying there's not enough proficient crafters in the game.
True.
And then basically that if you do want something, your best way to do it is to sit there and go order from someone like you do on Amazon.
Right, but finding the person to order from is kind of a stress.
Yeah, is a pain in the ass, because you have to sit there and either catch them online or hope their EK's open, they happen the right thing, and it's just a royal pain. So his idea was to sit there and let me see if I can find it. Make it so anybody can make something meaningful for the war effort.
Which is great, yeah. Like if nobody's there, the level 1 trebuchets are amazing.
So we have worker thralls that we use as a building resource for keeps. His idea was to sit there and have thralls or an NPC or something that you can use to sit there and craft the stuff for you, depending on what resources and how much money you bring. And the stats will be, and again, what is ruled depends on what you bring them. Thralls are leveled by guild in a joint effort. Anybody can make anything if you have the materials, and the thralls are leveled to a high enough level.
That'll never go over.
Yes, but basically an intermediate, where if you can't find the player to craft something, you can find an NPC, you can craft something that probably won't be as good as player crafted.
And it'll be really expensive, like 300,000 for a rare version of it.
but it'll be better than War Tribe. It's an interesting idea.
Hmm.
It needs to be fleshed out a bit more, in my opinion.
Yeah, we need to put a pin in it and circle back.
Yeah, but it's you're onto something there.
Yeah, I like where your head's at though, dude.
Yeah.
Um,
So next one is
oh,
joining
join
a
a campaign with
campaign. No.
nothing. I think they tried that, and I don't think anybody liked it. So I think that's why it went away. Because
No, of
then you have
course
to
not.
craft. You have to craft a lot more to do that, and it literally when I go to Dregs, I went to go help Dino, and I went to Dregs, and I wanted to just help him dig graves, and it was literally 2 hours for me to set up just being able to dig a grave with any kind of decent tools. So it's like, yeah, no, I don't agree with that one. Because
Well,
there
that and
again, that puts too much pressure. I mean, on one hand, he's saying take away the crafters' jobs, and then the next one he's saying make everybody a crafter. I don't those contrast to
I don't think it's saying take away the
equally.
crafters' jobs. I'd say it's more an intermediate between being able to craft stuff your own or finding someone to craft it for you and just
Well,
having something better than War
if you
Tribe.
come in with nothing, then you have to make all that stuff available to people that
Yeah,
that don't want to go craft to go get it. They need to just have stuff you can pull off the rack or whatever, and then go.
yeah. That, and let's be honest, all your dregs guilds are going to say no to that just because they can't come in with their pre-crafted Uber
Yeah,
gear.
with their Uber gear, which yeah, there's that.
Like that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Not with the current team that we have. I don't think that's going to happen. So
Or the mindset of the player
yeah,
base.
or that until they unlearn what they have learned. But okay, go moving on. What are we on now?
Create a PvP progression system. Okay, link it to the quality of your disciplines, achieving PvP goals, i.e., need to successfully defend a certain number of forts, keeps castles, get kills, whatever. Have them scale with the disciplines and winning campaigns. And significant battles gives you tokens. These tokens can be used to level up your vessel and or create a new one from the gods. Currently, there's no PvP progression outside of making an Amazon order. Uh,
Uh, I'm not sure about that one.
Okay, if you're talking about like milestones where you get like little tiny rewards or something, like, okay, you sat there and got your first PvP kill, here's 1,000 gold. Sure, but as far as the tokens, they kind of do that already with the Shadow and Dregs campaign. Oh, okay. Let's see. Create a localized economy. Okay, so this was kind of what I had in mind originally when I first started the game and I couldn't figure out where to buy or sell anything. But basically, he wants to sit there and move the vendors off EKs because at this point in time, it's not an efficient system, and I agree with him. It really
It
isn't.
isn't.
It
But
just create a centralized global market or world market in the game.
they did that, and something was wrong with it. I think the problem was is that the big guilds would come and scoop everything up, so none of the little guys could have one. I think that was the problem with it.
Well, they're doing that anyways with the EKs. You're gonna have that problem no matter what you do, however you do it.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what they did before, and I don't know that. I mean, it's a great idea, but I don't know that it will work.
Right now the current EK system is not that optimized for this because you go to an EK, okay, maybe it's open, maybe it's not. Let's say it is open. Okay, maybe they have what you want, maybe they don't. Maybe you can afford it, maybe you can't. Okay, well, you go back to your EK list. Which one did I just come from again? Is it this one? Oh, wait, I just came from that one. Hold on, let me back out again and try it.
Oh yeah, getting in and out of EKs definitely needs to be streamlined. The EKs
Yeah,
should be. I think the EKs should play a much bigger part than they do. Uh,
yeah. So either revisit the whole central market type thing or streamline or, uh, yeah, streamline the whole EK system and whatnot.
yeah,
Optimize it. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Optimize it.
optimize. Man, I don't know, but I'm getting some kind of buff off of something, so I don't know what those boys are doing downstairs, but it's gotta be crazy. I'm like, because I keep seeing sparkly stuff, and I'm going, where is that coming from? I'm trying to figure out. Is somebody? No, you can't get under the table, right?
You
Nothing there.
probably you probably have the keep buff on,
Oh,
which keeps you from making
oh,
prevents you
stronghold
from taking it.
protection. I'll bet you that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. Um, yeah, but let's see. Right now, we have only one way to no way to sell anything other than vendors placed out in a pasture somewhere and jumping from one EK to the next. Yep. Don't have time or patience for this one-man parade, and coincidentally, nobody else does either. Well, we find time because it's the only way to do it. Make a
Yeah,
market
people
that
do it.
is Make a market that's server wide in each temple and be done with it. Basically, give me something to do with the 500 mushroom stews I just crafted. Why are you crafting 500 mushroom stews?
That is kind of weird.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure I'm down with that.
yeah,
I ain't crafting 500 mushrooms too.
yeah.
I
Like,
think too. Eating used to be a thing where they were trying to make it like Minecraft, where when you get hungry, you'd have to eat or you'd get a debuff. And I'm pretty sure that one got poo pooed at some point. I didn't like that one either because
gee, I wonder why that one got
yeah,
poo-pooed.
nobody likes that kind of stuff. I mean, there's certain things that are realistic that you want to have in your game, but not everything. Like,
Yeah, there's some things you just shouldn't have, even no
we
matter how
want
realistic
to
it is.
we want to go glamping, not camping. Okay, we want to go camping with all the amenities of home. Um, so
See, next
yeah.
one is basically turning EKs into events, like PvP events.
Well, that's what we've done
Yeah,
that.
so
Well, you can do that. Yeah.
yeah, but I think this is less. I think he wants them to be less. I don't know. What do you do? Let's see. Make it so you can sign up for 1v1, 3v3, 6v6, 12v12, whatever. Battle sponsored by your favorite guilds. Give people rewards for competing and hosting. Anybody can host. Make a leaderboard for blah, blah, blah. Make the rewards cosmetics.
I think that they should do that in Skypoint.
Yeah,
But
so we've
yes,
talked about that.
yeah,
I do like that idea. I'm not sure how they'd implement it, especially through reward system, but I do like the idea of expanding that.
yeah,
Give players a
absolutely.
place to practice in safety, make it, worth their while so they can earn, a cape or a new dress or
Yeah,
lingerie
right
in
now,
Nacho's case.
yeah, one of the biggest problems, especially with doing events on your EK, is that the event host has no way of inspecting the combatants to make sure they're not cheating, and that's not something they currently allow. And I don't know if they can allow it or would ever allow it, but that's one reason why you won't. I've never seen as of yet an event where, because you can have an event where people give the host money, and then at the end of the campaign or at the end of the event, the host doles out the money to the first place guy or for second place guy or whatever. You know what I mean? You could do stuff like that, and people could donate items. I noticed like Mr. Most Mad donated some items to us if we could beat him in combat, which I thought was kind of cool because
Yeah.
we don't have anything really that anybody wants. So it's like, here's your intermediate axe, buddy. Thank you. You have go forth and chop wood. That's about all we got. So
Hey, free axe is a free axe.
hey, whatever. Yeah, I'm just saying. There's a lot there they could do. I don't know that that's where they need to start. They need to start with making it more appealing to a wider audience. I believe is what I believe.
Uh, yeah. This
Okay.
next one he has, I don't really agree with if it's what I think it is. Game needs to auto balance war. Outcome dictating battles. I mean, so whether the castle keep whatever is up for siege, a massive barrier should be set up around it where only a certain number from each side can enter. Let's see, allow a queue and a group finder system allows you to enlist for a defense and have the game or guild leadership or a group finder or whatever decide who shows up for that. If the numbers are uneven for any reason, give the other side a buff, make it a fair fight. So here's the thing. Throughout this post,
You keep saying get rid of the gatekeeping, except here.
well, one thing is, he says we're at war.
Yeah.
Make it feel like it. War is never fair. There's never
I don't know of any
if
war that's ever been fair to you.
not well. I can think of quote unquote gentleman wars that usually took place between nobility in Europe during the Age of Gunpowder, but that's beside the point. And even then, it was brutal and usually not fair. Um, so I don't agree with that at all. If
I
you
don't know.
have if you can sit there and create an advantage for yourself, go for it. And numbers aren't everything, to be perfectly honest. I can't tell you how many times that I've been in a group, and Fear, you know what I'm talking about, where there's like 3 or 4 of us, and we got our crap kicked out of us by like 1 or 2 guys.
Well, that comes down to gear and vessels and all that too. So
Exactly. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's never going to be a completely fair war. It's just war is war. You just gotta You got to roll with it. Like if your idea of war is just everybody runs in and starts pounding on each other, that's not really war. The war in especially in the campaigns is in the point systems and the rewards you get at the end. So, whether we actually fight for a resource or not is debatable. That's only if we're willing to do it. Otherwise, we just let them have the resource and then we go get it later, or you know what I mean. There's never going to be a ironclad way that we have to play this way. It's not that kind of a game. It's an MMO. So there's going to be slow times. There's going to be busy times. There's going to be times when you get your ass pounded, and then there's times where you're going to pound somebody in the sand. That's just how it rolls.
Yeah, honestly, that system of pricing sounds more like something you'd use for maybe a sponsored tournament or something.
Yeah.
So I don't really agree with that one at all. Socialization in this game is extremely difficult. Make it easy to find new and exciting people to fight and die with. Creating a group finder would be a massive upgrade. That is an interesting idea,
it's
actually.
Not a bad, terrible thing, no.
Yeah, no, I like that one.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, he can have that one.
Yeah, we'll give him that one.
Yeah. Okay, next.
Actually, yeah, I mean, because if you are, there are times where I get on, and believe it or not, Fear, I am the only one on. Everyone else is off.
What?
Like, you're not on, I'm just not on. It was weird.
You just stop that right now.
It's weird. It was.
I don't believe you. I don't believe people camp the gates either.
That's fine. You can believe whatever you want, but let me tell you, the Easter Bunny ain't real.
What?
Yeah.
The hell, he's not. I just saw him this morning in the dregs.
But no. So for situations like that, a group finder would be real nice.
Yeah.
All right, you can read the next one.
Well, oh shit! I don't even know where we're at now.
Or when a siege goes up for a keep to be defended.
Defended, you are notified by your gods and they automatically teleport you there. No. Do I even need to read anymore? No. Yeah, no. See, again, he's trying to lock down on this whole battle thing. He wants it to be completely even, and he doesn't want anybody to have to even try. I don't think that to get there. So he wants what he wants. Sounds to me like he wants the Hunger Dome, and I don't blame him. Hunger Dome was a lot of fun, and they should fix it right now.
Yeah, let's see. It says several reasons. Gods in this game don't matter outside of lore. It's not wrong.
Yeah, no.
Is it running simulator and running is not fun? Again, not wrong.
It's the hunger because it's hungry.
Yeah,
don't forget.
Don't gatekeep a glorious defense on 20 minutes of running, which you may not actually arrive on time.
Oh,
well,
wow.
Here's the thing.
That's the
thing. Can plan for that.
Yep.
You can plan for that.
Yep.
You can look at the event schedule and see when things are supposed to go up. So
I've not had a perfect siege yet.
So
we've sieged a lot.
As far as not getting there in time, that's just time management.
That's your people. They're not going to get there on time, even if you pick them up and carry them on your back. They'll still find a way to be like, oh, but wait, I got to tie my shoe, or wait, I have to go to the bathroom. Yeah, you're never going to get that. I don't believe it.
Let's see. And I think he said, like, if you opt out to the teleport, you get like a debuff or something temporarily. Like, no.
That's too much confusion.
No.
Just, they know what time it is. It says it in their time zone. There should be no confusion. I'm not a big fan of their event system being part of the map system, but hey, it's there. You can look at it. You can plan your whole day around it. So I'm not down with that one.
Yeah, but since we're on this topic of having to run around, and the only way to do that is through mediocre horses, this Notch is not here to say anything. Let us put our mounts inside personal chests, please.
That'd be awesome.
That would be really
Anything that's sold, no trade, no drop should also be able to go into your personal chest.
Yeah, because again, it's a personal
and
chest.
Soulbound should.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yes, please, Soulbound. Yeah, and I like a faster mount.
If you guys could have that done by 5 p.m. Mountain, that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, better mounts would be nice too, because it does take forever to go anywhere in this
map.
They
could do a little bit better. They do kind of make us feel like we're running backwards a lot. Like
Yeah.
you're just like, oh man, I'll be there. I'm only 500 away, and it still takes you 5 minutes. You know, it's like, come on, man. Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just this game is so punishing, dude. I can't believe I'm still playing it. To be honest with you, I
Don't
have.
you dare say that, you son of a bitch.
I'm gonna quit, and I'm gonna make Xtreme the guild leader, and I'm gonna give him all my stuff. Ha! Just kidding. All right, so
Oh, don't scare me like that.
this game lacks spice. What is spice, you might ask? Well, something added bland that makes it more interesting. To be perfectly clear, this game has no spice. Well,
He's not wrong.
I don't know. You know, when you do a siege with my guys and you see them going, whoop, 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 oh, thralls over here. No, wait, I gotta go over here. That's pretty spicy. It gets me kind of spicy. I get a little hot under the collar myself. So,
But is that really
guys,
applicable to
the
this
siege is in
situation?
5 minutes. Yeah. So no, I know what he's saying, but I'm just trying to be funny. Stop giving people all the information in the form of percentage points and forcing them into huge spreadsheets. Oh man, Nachos would pass out if he saw that.
Oh, yeah, he loves spreadsheets.
No
But he's also
spreadsheets.
weird.
And just force people to play the game. And just
Oh,
force. Don't gatekeep, but force them. So, yeah, I think that different levels of people are going to play it differently, whether you give them that option or not. So some people are going to there are, certain people that do spreadsheets. That's how all MMOs are. There are some guys calculate your risks versus the rewards and all that, and they figure all that out for the guild. And that, I don't think that's ever going to go away.
Speaking of spreadsheets information, one thing I would like to see is an actual in-game encyclopedia, because the one they have right now, all it does is majors and minors, nothing else.
Oh, the
Which
whole
is
encyclopedia you want?
Yeah, which is nice and all, but
Well, shouldn't they get the game? I think they should get the game stable before they go through all that mess. But yeah, I mean, at least the stuff that they're not going to change over and over and over, because there's a lot of stuff that changes all the time.
Like you go to cooking, it's like, okay, what do I need? And sure, you can sit there, and cooking's not a great example because you get all the recipes right away. But, it'd just be nice to sit there, like if I'm out gathering, I'm like, okay, what do I need to gather to give me something that gives me this buff? So you sit there, you open the encyclopedia, search for your buff, it says these foods. So you click a food, it tells you what you need, so you can sit there and start looking for that stuff while you're out and about, as an example.
Good idea. Can you write that? If you could have that done by 6 o'clock MST, that'd be great.
Yeah. You want to know where I got that idea from? We
Dino?
played it a lot. No, we played that game a lot.
Black Desert?
Yeah, Black Desert Online.
Oh, they have that? See, and that was on my list of Blickstuff to play, so maybe he'll see that and go, oh, yeah, that's how you do that. Okay. I think that's just a lot of work for these guys, but, maybe. Maybe down the road. They'll probably try to get the players to do it for them.
I mean, most of them have. Like, if you go to, was it Winterblade's website, they have all of it in the form of a spreadsheet. So what you got to do is just take it out of a spreadsheet form and put it into book form.
Yeah.
Just not that hard.
I'm not even listening to you right now. Give their fighters buffs or debuffs. He wants to randomly give fighters buffs and debuffs, and
well, that was with the whole don't want to teleport to that fort defense.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, in any event, I mean, we didn't go into every single detail that he said or put it all into context, but that's the basics of what another player thinks and how we feel about what he said.
There are some good ideas in there, some horrible ideas in there, and there were some where he was onto something but needed more thought.
Yeah, and I mean, one man's junk is another man's treasure, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know about you, but I'm good. I think
I'm sure there's some stuff I'm forgetting, but I'll remember in about an hour after the fact.
Well, you can always write it down for next time,
Yep.
And we appreciate all you guys that came out today. As always, we've enjoyed our time here with you. And so I checked. Our list is done. I'm done. You're done. We can go back to, I'm going to take a nap.
And I'm going to go eat dinner, and then I'll probably live stream myself.
Sweet. I'll probably even watch you so I know where you're at so I can come and snipe you.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. All right, bud. So, everybody, Peace out. Take care of yourselves. Buff Barbs. That's what. Really? Buff Barbs? Really? You think that's a thing?
No,
Okay.
yeah, they do not need to be buffed.
I'm
If
pretty
anything,
sure that, yeah. I'm pretty sure you're the only one. You're in that club of one.
I was like, Barbarian. First of all, not just saw them say Barb, he'd have a fit.
Yeah. Okay.
First,
But yeah, no. Hey, if you can get them to do it, God bless you.
I'll say
Good luck to you.
Barbarians and Myrmidons. They don't need
Yeah,
buffs.
see, Dino's already pushing back, and he doesn't even play a barb, so I don't even know what the hell's going on. All right, so guys, thanks again. Like I said, we appreciate you guys coming by. We will be back again soon. I'm not sure when. We're in the middle of a campaign now, to which we are winning. So we're gonna keep winning. We're tired of winning. We win so much, but we're gonna keep on trying. You guys take care of yourselves out there. Play
Don't
safe.
tempt fate.
Take rests. Take breaks, you guys. Don't kill yourselves. Literally, Dino almost killed himself. Remember that one time he popped a stitch right in the middle of a siege and had to go to the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. We'll talk soon. Ciao.
Good night. We good?